Welcome guys. I wanted to do a quick tutorial to show you guys how I'm planning on using my Happy Planner, my Notes Mini. I actually saw this in Michael's and it was a part of like a clearance or like a 30% off sale. So I actually got this and I think it was like maybe $7, $6 or $7 after the discount. And then when I actually saw the pages inside, I was like, oh my God, this is gonna be perfect for me to use to take notes in for the books I'm actually reading this summer as a part of various book clubs. So in this video, I'm actually going to show you how I was able to create sort of like covers using the books that I'm reading this summer, right? And how I set that up using my computer and also using my printer. So please stay tuned and we'll figure out how to create this together.
Okay, so now that we're looking at my computer now, I'm going to show you how I actually set it up so that I can print images on the Happy Planner sheets. I usually do this with the note sheets, but I have done it where I've printed like ideas for lesson plans and things like that on my Teacher Happy Planner. So hopefully later on in the summer when I get my Teacher Happy Planner, I'll do another video showing you guys how I'm able to do that. But for now, I actually just need images of the 3 books that I want to include in my notebook. So all I really did here was I went to Google and then I just Googled the name of the book. So for this one here, the first one on my list would be How to Be an Anti-Racist. And when you search that in and you go to the images, it really doesn't matter which one you pick, although I have noticed that sometimes you want to find an image that has a really good resolution, or I mean, I don't know if it's resolution or pixels or whatever it is, but like the number down here, if you can kind of see there, I mean, I didn't mean to click on that, but if you can kind of see that number here, see this one is 1200 by 630, but the first image that comes up is the image that Amazon is using, and theirs is only 331 by 500. So like I said, because the picture itself, like the paper is so small, it really won't make a difference, but I just downloaded the one, like the highest quality one that I could find. So these are the 3 images that I have here. I have this one this is the book I'm reading with my teaching staff. This here, How to Be an Anti-Racist, I'm reading with my husband, and I'm also in another book club with some other teachers. And this one I'm reading just for me. So these are the 3 images that I have, and I'm going to show you now how to set up your document to print these. So you can go to Microsoft Word, or you can really just go to any word processor that you have. I'm just going to show you the way to do this with Microsoft Word. So when you open up a blank document, really it's set to the default settings, which means that it's printing on 8.5 by 11 size paper. So we need to change that. So what you want to do is you want to go to File, and then you want to go to Page Setup. And if you look here where it says paper size, that's what we're going to change, because by default it's printing letter size. So here, if you notice, they have all of the standard sizes, but I actually added some custom sizes. Like I said, I printed on paper beforehand. So I do have the size for the classic Happy Planner, and you can see this is 7 by 9.25 inches. And I also have printed on my skinny planner before. So in order to figure out what the sizes are, you can actually just go to Google and you can Google like Happy Planner page size. And I've actually seen on Pinterest, I've seen on other people's websites, they have like these charts that tell you what the sizes are, or you can go to the good old-fashioned route and just bust out a ruler and measure the size of the paper. So I know what the measurements for the mini notes are, so I'm just going to go in and I click the plus here in order to add a new custom set. So I'm gonna write here that this is my Happy Planner and this is the Notes Mini size. And the width for this is actually 4.5 inches by 7 inches here. And so if you notice here, we have the top, the left and the right margins set at 0.25 inches, but the bottom margin is actually a little higher. So I just go in and I change that so that the margins on all 4 sides are exactly the same. And when you do that, you click OK, and it actually sets, it creates a new preset for you. So that's what I'm going to choose now. And it says it's going to be 4.5 by 7 inches. I click OK and watch. Automatically resizes for you. And so now what you can actually do is, now that I have this set up, I'm trying to move this over, there you go. I can take any one of these images. So I'm going to take this one here, and you just drop it right into what the document is. And it all depends on your preference how you want to do this. I like to do it the fastest way possible. So what I end up doing is adding multiple pages and then loading my printer all at once. But once you have this in here, you can. So the audio cut out, so I'm just going to talk over it. What I'm actually just saying here is that you can change the sizing of the image in order to fit on the page. And what I'm actually doing here is I'm just centering it. Generally, I do like to have the text wrapping change. And then what you'll notice here is that you can change the top margin. You can make it smaller, or you can make it larger depending on how much of the note paper you want to use. And then what I actually like to do is, once I have it centered, I actually don't leave the image in the perfect center. And you'll see in a second what I'm talking about, because when this prints, for this image here, I'm printing it so that the holes are going to be on the left side, as you can see. So what I end up doing is I end up just scooting the image to the right slightly, so that when it prints, I don't have to worry about the holes on the left-hand side. So I basically have the picture ready on the paper, and now I'm going to go over to set up my printer. So what I'm using here is my Epson printer, and it's just a standard inkjet printer. So what I have to do first is I have to remove the letter size paper from the tray. And if you notice on this paper, like the holes, like the way that I want it printed is I want the image to be face up with the holes on the left hand side. So when I load the paper into the tray, I have to make sure that it's facing the right way. And for my particular printer, it just means it has to be reversed, like flipped around. So I'm going to flip the paper around, insert it into the tray, and then I'm going to squeeze that little blue thing in order to make it tighter. And then once I'm done with that, I can just go back to my computer and I'm ready to hit print. Okay, so now that I have the printer set up with the paper, I'm just going to print this here. And it's already set to go to the inkjet printer. And one thing I do notice a slight difference with, it's not a big deal if you can't find this on your printer, but sometimes what I'll do is I'll go to media and quality. And for this one, it's fine for it to auto select what the media type is, just because it's regular printing paper in terms of like the thickness and everything. But I do tend to, especially with fine details, like when you click that you want the quality to be the best quality, sometimes that actually does make a bit of a difference. So I'm going to send this back over to the printer, and then we'll see what it looks like when it comes out.
Okay, and so this is what they look like. They're all printed out. And so, you know, it's a little see-through, but that's fine because I'm actually planning on writing on the back. So that's not going to be a big deal. They're very vibrant, as you can see, like they printed out really clear. And like I mentioned earlier in the video, when I saw the paper that was in this book, I knew that I wanted to use it for the book club because if you notice, it's got sort of like a little, it looks to me like an open book. I'm not sure if that's what they were going for with the design, but that's immediately what I thought of. So I've got my 3 pages here. And so I actually just added something from the journaling sticker book so that I can keep track of which book is for where. So this book that I'm reading is the personal book. This is the one that I chose for myself to read for July. This is actually the staff pick. So at my school, we're doing a book club over the summer, and this is the one we all voted on that we wanted to read. And this book, I started reading it with my husband, and then I was contacted by my squad, and we are going to read this one together. So I'm actually just going to, and this is the book itself. When it came, it was actually set up with 3 tabs already, which I think is a little perfect. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pop these back into the book itself. And then I'm going to keep the sections the way that they are, and I'm actually going to use the sections here, the extra note paper, to take notes about the book, write down any quotes, ideas, like things that I want to share out when we get together as an entire club. So this is how I'm setting up my notes. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you guys have any questions or if you have any comments, please leave them below. Here's the last one. There we go. Thank you again for stopping by my channel.